All right, let's continue to talk about a different angle of the looting that we've seen in certain areas around South Africa. And with me now, I've still got Sipho Mamize, who is from Africa Tukon, Wings of Life Centre, and this one is based in Diepsloot. We've spoken about the issue of poverty and unemployment and the emotions that it brings with it. Let's talk about xenophobia, though, because everybody's also talking about the issue of xenophobia and perhaps a sense of hatred that it brings within people. I mean, is this a right thing to say or a wrong thing? And what happens when one feels xenophobia?
Well, we think xenophobia is the driving force. I doubt. It doesn't come out in our conversations.
So you don't think that that xenophobia is behind
this? Not at all. Not at all. This is socio-economic issues that needed to be addressed long time ago.
Yeah.
It has not yet been adequately addressed. And there is no template that one can look into the township and say, if you need this, go somewhere. Where? It's not clear. So the message should be clear as to, if I need a job, where do I go? If I need skills, where do I go? You look into Diepsloot area and you put it together with Fourways, there's a lot of development happening. Jobs are being created. But is it enough?
Yeah.
And you look into the influx of the people into Diepsloot, it tells you it's not a solution to just say it's xenophobia. When we look into xenophobia, it's I hate you because you're not like me. You are not from the same country as me. But the fact is, there's much social integration in Diepsloot than we had a few years ago. If I were to say I have not walked Diepsloot personally, I'll be lying. Just yesterday, I went to visit one of the doctors in the area. He is of Nigerian descent.
Yeah.
And people that are South Africans are consulting with him. There is harmony, there's peace. In the NGOs that are in there, you look into the composition of staff, you look into the composition of the clients, there is so much social integration. So this is not an issue of saying it's xenophobic. There's no hatred in it.
Yeah.
There is gratification of a need, which is hunger. There's gratification of a need that people have, which is to fend for their families, and they cannot when they don't work.
But a lot of people are talking about the issue of drugs being sold in some of these shops, alcohol illegally being sold, illegal weapons being sold, and it's an angry community that wants to say, we don't want this, get out. Have you heard these conversations?
It does come out, but people should also realize that we have got avenues in this country that we can go to when we've got solid, concrete evidence to say, I know Sipho is doing 1, 2, 3, and they can still do it anonymously. There are so many avenues that one can look into and say, use them. Other than that, you can walk into a police station, report the case, follow up, see what happens, and have evidence that when I reported, this did not happen. So far, it is things that are being rumored, things that just flare and just disappear. And maybe our intelligence need to dig deeper and find out as security agencies to say exactly where do these drugs come from?
Yeah.
Where do these weapons come from? And how do we stop that?
Yeah.
We have just seen the Minister of Police indicating that so much of guns have been confiscated and destroyed. But do we see that on a daily basis in the townships? Not at all.
Yeah.
If we can increase such activities and do put it into the media for people to realize that something is being done, maybe we've got hope in that.
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, I think in terms of intelligence, I think there needs to be more. We need to have forewarnings that this is going to happen. We've had task teams from 2008 when the original flare-up happened, and yet they're happening again and all over the place. But we have to give residents of Alex also, you know, a little bit of thanks, because they actually protested, or they were in support of the foreign-owned shops, which is a big thing. Just very quickly, let's end off this interview by talking about, and I don't even think we've got 30 seconds on this, family values. Because, you know, resorting to violence and scenes that we have seen this past week, it's not right. It isn't right at the end of the day. Yes, you are desperate, but this is not the way to get through this. What example is being set? That's a big problem, particularly within that family unit.
We have begun with Africa Tukun to have community dialogues, children speaking their minds. And in that way, if we can have more dialogue, family conversation, friendly conversations, we can move away from the society that has been created through crime and all that. What is needed is people to be given avenues to speak out, and that can challenge what they're acting, because much of their actions are based on there's no talking.
Yeah. Thank you for talking to us. Sipho Mamize, who is the General Manager for Wings of Life Centre, Africa Toucan's Wings of Life Centre, that's based in Diepsloot. Thanks for shedding a bit of light on the situation for us. All right, now remember that Ayanda is actually in Langlaagte at the moment. We're going to be crossing to her in the next hour. All right, let's take a break. News at 7 after this. Stay tuned.